Welcome, folks. I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
And we are watching Miss Marvel Episode 1 from Disney+. Thanks so much for joining us. If you guys haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching, assuming that you're watching this on YouTube. If you are, you will see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole show with us without cuts or interruptions, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabyKoay, where you can watch the whole show with us, but you will need your own Disney Plus subscription, so you can open up the show in an adjacent window to our reaction, and it's like you're watching with two of your favorite pals from the internet. Newly on this channel are YouTube memberships, so you can also do it that way if you do not want to become a member of our Patreon membership. If you're already watching this on Patreon or memberships, thanks so much for supporting us here. Here we go.
Oh,
Finally,
cute.
the moment everyone has been waiting for.
The premiere of Miss Marvel.
Alien ships invading, Thanos being a jerk about magical stones. Our heroes were done for.
Oh.
That's cute.
Captain Marvel blasted in! Now who was this glorious, well-coiffed hero? Due to my extensive research on my delicate... 1. She blasted through Thanos' fleet like a flaming angel. And you know what? She looked good doing it. I know, some of you think, well, she abandoned the people of Earth. But, like, look, it's not true. Obviously, we don't know exactly what she's been up to, but hey, maybe she just needed a break, you know? Can't a woman just live?
Carrying this alien.
I'm gonna be dressed as Captain Marvel, obviously. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. Next week, I'm gonna kick off a special 2-part series on why I think Thor is secretly a gamer. Remember, new episodes drop every Wednesday. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Wow, she's on it. Because Thor is a gamer.
Is he really?
Yeah, they established that in Endgame. That's why he got fat, because he was drinking beer and playing games nonstop.
Yeah. No, I thought you meant like Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
in
I mean,
person.
he might be a gamer. Nice. Okay. That's not a point deduction. It's just the music.
Bless you.
Oh,
You're supposed to do it before you start the car. Whoa, no!
I don't think anyone saw.
That's my car.
Wait, that's not a test.
It was a test.
Oh, come on. Are you trying to tell me she didn't look in the mirrors often enough for you and your clipboard?
I wouldn't say that was the problem.
Then you'll also say that you expected her to signal at every single turn.
Kamina Kahika, give me my keys. Okay, Kamala, come on, chalo.
I think it was a driving lesson, not a test.
Really sorry that you're not going to be able to help me with all the things for your brother's wedding that you said you would.
I guess you're right.
This is my fault. This is all my fault. These are my genetics. I mean, I come from a long line of fantasizing.
No one tells you all that stuff if you're just going to take a lesson.
Yeah, they do.
No.
Yeah, they guide you through it.
They literally established that it was a test.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Okay, first off, I just want to say, I get it.
You get what?
Well, I hear you've had a hectic couple weeks.
Damn, okay.
I see a girl divided. Is she there? Is she there? Where's Kamala? Who knows? No one knows.
Oh, that was dope.
I can't see. Where?
Yeah.
And I know, fantasy's fun. Fantasy's really fun. But right now, I need you to pull yourself together and join reality.
That must have been motion controlled. That was really, really well done.
So cool. Is this Nani's?
That is John.
Does she know?
No, she doesn't know. She doesn't know anything.
She decided that she wasn't ready for commitment. So now she's off gallivanting through Europe to discover herself.
Good for her. I mean, she wanted to travel the world and she went for it.
She's trouble, this one.
So there's this thing called Avengercon. You know, it's really something incredible. It's never been done before. It's like the first
That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
as Captain Marvel.
Salam, everyone.
Hero.
In a very tight suit.
It's not that
Yes.
tight. If it was him asking, be like, oh yes, I'm a beta. Do what you want, I'm a beta.
God damn.
You know, all she does to me is say no. It's like,
I'll talk to them.
really?
Yeah, I mean, you look kind of
Thank
pathetic.
you.
Good night.
Yeah, I'm really liking the style of this so far.
Yeah, it's so cute. And I love her.
Yeah, she's
I think
really
she's
good.
on point.
Yeah.
I mean, her outfit covers her pretty much like neck to feet. It's super like
Conservative?
Yeah, maybe a little bit tight, but you know.
I don't think so.
It's
I mean, I
fine.
suppose for a conservative community, it's
Yeah.
tight, but like to me, it looks.
It looks good.
Yeah.
We have decided to let you go.
Yay!
Really?
Yes, but there are special conditions. Your Abbu will drive you there, and as far as your dressing goes, the Hulk!
The Hulk.
No!
See, Kamala,
He had to fix his
big
glasses.
Hulk and little Hulk, Bada Hulk or Choti Hulk.
Bada Hulk and Choti Hulk.
Choti Hulk, yeah.
If you don't go with your dad, you're not going at all. You're not going to dress up like all those other girls in skimpy outfits.
Damn it.
I'm surprised they let her have the Captain Marvel poster in the background on the wall, given how adamantly against that type of apparel that they are.
Let's be honest, it's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world.
But it can be.
You're Kamala Khan. You want to save the world?
Oh, why is this making me like emotional? This is so weird.
Because you feel it, you know what I mean?
Bow. See?
It's cosmic. This is cosmic. Get up.
We're getting out.
We're getting out.
Listen, they don't shoot real. Oh, no.
So he becomes her sidekick.
Yeah, kind of.
This is the plan.
Kamala, you're the best sister ever. Honestly, you should have been an only
My
child.
Kamala is the best daughter in the whole wide world.
I love Kamala.
5:55, I suit up in the greatest Captain Marvel costume the Earth has ever seen, and like, don't worry, it'll be finished by then. I hope. Then I make my way out of the house undetected but extremely impressive, where you will be waiting in your costume, which better be awesome. You and your fancy Zuzu system are gonna be my cover. So, when there's a knock on the door, doesn't mean I'm changing. Finally, you being a genius is coming in handy. 6:30 p.m. we catch the bus to Camp Lehigh. And it might be a tight window, but we're gonna do it with style.
Wait, is that us biking off a bridge onto a bus?
We get on the bus just in time. Everyone stares at us in awe because we look that good and their costumes are just meh. Okay, time for a tight but spontaneous 60 minutes of fun at Avengercon. Then, after a few quick photos with fans, maybe some chats with the press, we bounce. I'll sneak back into my room just before my dad comes in at 9:22 p.m. That's the plan. Got it?
I love the border as well, making it look like a
Comic.
comic strip. It's so cute. Got like the thunder and lightning. Not freaky. Oh god, oh god. Oh.
You okay?
That went pretty well, all things considered.
Considerably less cool than the one she imagined.
considerably less epic.
Yeah. This looks really cute.
Oh, they got the music from Captain America.
Yeah, well, it's Camp Lehigh, right?
The Captain Marvel cosplay contest.
Showtime.
First place gets a
It's pretty hot. I mean, in terms of like competition.
Yeah.
Last call for the Captain Marvel cosplay competition. Cosplayers, please line up on the side of the stage.
Quick, quick. Oh no, you
Oh,
forgot
no.
the gloves.
Hi.
Wow, you look great. Yeah, good.
He would notice the gloves, wouldn't he?
Oh, he's Bruce Banner. I was like, is he Hank Pym? Uh-oh.
That was not expected. Can you imagine?
Nick, he's not even looking. Can anyone see this right now?
Oh, shit's about to go down. Everything from the neck down looks pretty legit. And that helmet looks pretty low rent, though.
Oh, shit. Whoopsie.
She is in so much trouble now. Because that's all over Instagram.
Uh-oh.
People are cheering. That's surreal. No one's freaking out.
They're like, that's awesome.
Wow, and I thought that my Captain Marvel costume was going to make people stare.
How powerful is that thing? It just keeps going. What is it?
Oh,
It's
no. Oh, no. What's going on?
Are you available to book for parties? You want to take a picture? I'll tag you. I follow that, mostly.
Oh, shit.
I did not expect that to get her. Her thingy's glowing.
What just happened? I don't even know what to say.
I can't believe it, Bruno.
Well, those gloves are definitely gone.
Like the bike.
Okay, come on, help me up.
Quick.
Oh.
The door's gonna open up, right?
It's like right by the front door.
I just thought that maybe they'd like...
They're already in there, I bet.
Oh, wow. What? Are you okay? Hey, keep me updated. Text me everything.
So weird. Please don't tell anyone.
Don't stop. Okay, I'd never tell anyone.
Never, ever.
I know he doesn't look like him, but he so much reminds me of Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Like a young...
Like the vibe?
Yeah.
Ruh-roh. They're in there,
Someone
aren't
said... yeah, this is just the expected... Yeah, see?
Where have you been? And you knew that it would betray me, but you still went and did it anyway.
Cosmic.
That's a great first episode.
Yeah.
Check this out. A teenage girl at Avengercon.
Avengercon? A cosplayer with too much time on their hands.
Not this one.
Oh, it's that guy.
Whoa. Yeah, bring her in.
That makes sense. It would immediately get their attention, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you called it. You're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, so speaking of her acting, it's like, the thing is with these kinds of stuff, like, okay, Juno, for instance, there's a way, there's a nature in which everyone is talking that is just not real, right?
Right.
And this show has that quality about it where it's just a little bit heightened, and she does a really good job of like having that heightened style, but also still having that very realistic, grounded style at the same time, which I think is a very difficult balance to strike. And in addition to that, the actors are very, very good at hitting those marks, because the way these directors move, it's like the camera's constantly doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and you need really, really good actors who know how to hit those marks, say that line with the performance, and keep it moving, you know, because it's not easy to do that. A lot of stuff is like, in the interest of getting things done quickly, the camera doesn't move very much. You lock it off, whatever, have the actor say what they gotta say, and then do camera movement for action stuff. Whereas this is like, the entire thing is like an action scene. And in order to accomplish that and still have it have some kind of emotional weight, you have to have profoundly good actors. The only negative I have in that area to speak of is the dad and the brother, like there are moments where like they shined, but there were other moments where it felt like a little bit hammy.
Yeah.
You know, and it was particularly noticeable at the very beginning when Kamala first comes down the stairs and the camera's zipping around and they're like saying these lines to each other. I'm like, this doesn't feel like a real family right now. But as the episode went on, it started to feel more and more like it was grounding itself, and I started to buy into the family dynamics more.
Yeah, and the family dynamic is so important here because it plays a huge part in the story and for her character. And I'm really loving the way they're integrating this duality that is a part of her, right? Because on the one hand, she's Pakistani. On the other hand, she's also American. And I love how they're showing us that.
That's a very, very tough thing. As an Asian American or Asian European, like that's a very, very tough thing.
Yeah, like being mixed, we can immediately latch onto that. And I think that's why, you know, we were getting emotional in that part where, like for me, it was when the disappointment and sadness that her parents felt when she like yelled at them in that scene where they were trying to be like, oh, we could go as like Big Hulk and Little Hulk, right? That whole interaction, I was like, oh God, I feel that. And then straight afterwards, going on to the scene in the rooftop where she's saying, you know, like a brown girl from Jersey doesn't get to be a superhero. And it's like, ugh, yes, that really speaks to, you know, the experience of, I guess, our generation who's like, you know, little Asian kids don't get to be heroes, but now we do, which is so awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like really enjoying the integration of her Pakistani culture as well, like how they have Urdu thrown in there, which feels, you know, really real. And then also how they integrated different music styles. So you have like the fun American
the soundtrack
pop
is great.
music.
The soundtrack is great in this show. I love the music that they've chosen. I decided to look up on IMDb how it was shot, and I was right. They did shoot with anamorphic lenses like all over the place. Area Alexa large format. This is shot in such a way that you could probably project it onto IMAX because it's large format. I don't fully know what I'm talking about in this area, but I do know that they were shooting with anamorphic lenses because it's just got this very like film quality to the whole thing. I'm sure they put a filter on top of it to give it that extra edge of like that filmy, grainy kind of look. It's very, very subtle.
Right.
It's not like very apparent, but it doesn't have like the hyper clean aesthetic. It almost has a throwback feel, and not that far back because film wasn't that long ago.
Right.
It's like 90s, early 2000s when they were shooting on film. And I really appreciate the anamorphic look as someone who just purchased like 2 anamorphic lenses for my Canon Canon. You guys don't give a shit. I purchased 2 anamorphic lenses, so I recognize the look of it from watching films and from using it a little bit. And I just like there's something really, really cool about that. And using that on a show, I don't think is normal. I don't think you typically find anamorphic lenses being used in TV shows. And so I think it's super cool that they decided to do it here and give it that very just high level quality, if that's any way to classify it.
Like, I guess in more recent times, J.J. Abrams has made that super popular, but I think it lends itself really well to this show because those little flares, you know, the flashes of color, it feeds into that whole cosmic feel, that whimsical feel, which is just so great. Yeah.
I think your mention of the music was a good one because throughout the show, I'm just like, I really like the soundtrack. And I think, again, it's very well balanced. You have the ethnic music, if that's any way to put it.
And I specifically noticed it for the very first time in that scene that you pointed out when she was with the counselor. And then it did that split screen. And then right when it split, it introduced some, you know, ethnic music, some Pakistani music, I'm assuming. And so you get that sense of like, here's the duality. On the one hand, she's American. On the other hand, her Pakistani heritage like makes an important part of who she is. And I think like that is going to be a major part of the show. It's like, how do we bring those two things together and be true to who I am as Kamala, as Miss Marvel? And I think that's great.
That was a great edit that they did there. I don't know how they pulled it off. I'm imagining it was motion controlled because the camera moved in the exact same way at the very beginning and then split off. And I'm like, whoa, that's a really, really cool trick. I mean, it's Marvel and they got Marvel money and whatever, but I think that with the Marvel shows, they are more limited in budget, in the scope of what they can work with.
Yeah.
But like, you know, as we saw with the She-Hulk ad, it's like the CGI is not quite as refined as Hulk's, you know, CGI, which was introduced in the films. And so I don't get any sense yet. I don't get any sense of limitation in terms of quality here.
Yeah.
It feels very, very high quality in terms of how it's produced, how it's presented. I feel like I say this with every new show, but thus far, this is my favorite first episode out of a Marvel series. Like, I just think that this is so well put together. And I relate to it as someone who is of mixed descent. You know, even though she's not of mixed descent, her identity is of mixed descent.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I've always been able to really identify with like American immigrant stories because I see that in myself of like being part of two cultures. And, you know, especially when you grow up in America as, you know, whatever Asian you are, you're like, well, I have all this stuff at home that is still very much like the country my parents are from. And like, I know the language and the culture that way, but at school and outside, I'm this other way. And then inside, you're like a mishmash of both. And there's always this like push and pull of each culture.
Yeah, I really like it. And I hope you guys did too.
I want to add one more thing before we close out because I just want to say I am almost convinced that the mom knew exactly what that bracelet was because of the way she looked at it, and then the reference that they made to her nanny, her grandmother. And I wonder if maybe that's how they're going to approach it, because in the comics, they talk about how it's kind of in her genetics to be able to access that power when she's affected by the Terrigen Mist, which they didn't do in the show, and that's fine. But I'm wondering if they're kind of still going that route where they're like, oh, it is related to her family, to her heritage, and it comes from her grandmother. So we shall see.
I guess the last thing I'll say is there are those expected beats that you often see in shows like this that are usually not, a supernatural in its nature, that are usually just dramatic or a dramatic comedy in its nature. When she has that pep talk from her brother, and the scene where she goes into her room and her mom is there, which is the expected thing. Like, both of those scenes are expected beats that you usually have in family-related either shows or movies. And what they did here that's very, very different, and I like, and I'm not sure why they did it here like this, what I like is both of those scenes did not overstay its welcome. They got what they needed out of the scene. It's like there's zero fat on both of those scenes.
Right.
Absolutely zero fat, all muscle. It's like, okay, what do we need to accomplish here? Boom, 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 got it, out. And I'm like, whoa, I still feel like I got what I needed from that scene emotionally.
You still feel the emotional beats for sure.
But I couldn't help but notice how quick it moved out of that scene. I'm like, how did that was a neat trick that they just did, because like I still got what I needed and it moved on to the next scene right away.
Right.
And it's not very often that you see that. Usually you have these scenes that have a lot more, filler or in between dialogue, a lot more padding before it moves on to the next thing. The reason I'm saying I'm not sure where it comes from is because I'm like, is it the directors who are just like slashing lines out of the script? Is it Marvel going, yo, we gotta make this 40 minutes, so you have to I'm not sure where the trimming is coming from, or if that's just how it's always been by design. I just wanted to compliment the way they handled those scenes, because I still felt what I needed out of those moments, and there was zero fat on it, and I think it's super cool. So you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're watching this on memberships or on Patreon. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much for supporting us. That's it for now. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.